A moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stare in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.
Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Mr. Litwai Dumi, and welcome, Clarice. Before we start our lesson, we should remember to sanitize. Make sure all the parts of your hands are sanitized. We must also remember to keep our social distance by stretching out. And our lesson for today is prime and composite numbers, and also prime factorizing. Okay, let us now go to page 14 on our booklet. We have to read through the notes. To start with a prime, composite numbers, and prime factorizing. Learning objective: know prime numbers and their properties, the competencies to recognize and list prime numbers smaller than 100, find prime factors of a given number smaller than 100, give a number as a product of its prime factors. Do you remember? A factor is one number that can divide into another without a remainder. A composite number is a whole number that has more than two factors. A prime number is a whole number that has only two factors, for example, one in itself. Factors can be represented in several ways. For example, if you divide 12 by 1, you get 12. 12 by 2, you get 6. 12 by 3, you get 4. 12 by 4, you get 3. In the middle, we have 12. What is outside pointed by the arrows are factors of 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 6, and 12. In grade 7, we use these methods in grade 7, whereby the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. List the factors of the following numbers. We have 16. The factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. 18. The factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. I'll repeat that again. The factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Factors of 20, 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And those numbers, 16, 18, and 20, are called composite numbers. Why? They have many factors. On the right, we have 17. The factors of 17 The factors of 17 are 1 in 17, we have 19. The factors of 19 are 1 in 19. And this category is classified as prime numbers because they only have 2 factors. Now we move to page 15. On page 15, reading, the list of prime numbers less than 100 is shown on the right, which is on the table. If you look in the table, you can see the numbers. Some are in green, shaded. You need to recognize these numbers. First, you need to know that 1 is never a prime number and is never a composite number because it has only one factor, which is itself. What are prime factors? These are factors of a number that are also prime numbers. We are given an example of 24. The factors of 24 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. But the prime factors are only 2, which is 2 and 3. Prime factorizing. How do I write a number, or how do I write numbers as a product of its prime factors? We use 2 methods to express prime factors. Given an example of 56 as a product of its prime factors, the 2 methods are shown there. We have a factor 3. The factor 3, we need to make a correction there. At 12, it's supposed to be 56. So we just have to take out that 12 and write 56 there. Therefore, in order to halve 56, you have to multiply 2 by 28 in order to get 56. I'll repeat that again. If you are to divide 56 by 2, you get 28. That's the reason why 2 multiplied by 28 gives you 56. In order to get 28, you have to use 2 times 14. And in order to get 14, you must use 2 times 7 to get that 14. So, moving to the ladder method, we are halving from top to bottom. 56 halved, you get 28. You divide by 2, you get 14. Divide by 7, you get 7. And 7 divided by 7, of course, you get 1. So the numbers on the left side are prime factors, which are 2 and 7. And that is how you have to use the ladder method to factorize number 56. To explain it in details, or to read there at the bottom, the factor 3, you can use any combination of factor pairs. When factorizing, you always end up with the same prime factors. The ladder method, this is a repeated division, but upside down. Always start with the smallest prime number and divide until you cannot anymore. Then try the next largest prime number, and so on until you reach the number 1. With that, allow me to go on the chalkboard so that I can explain the three concepts much better. We did factors. Prime numbers. We have composite numbers. And the last one is to write as a product. Of its prime factor. So I have to give an example of 12. The first one, we need to find all the factors of 12. A factor is a number that goes into a number without leaving out a remainder. So factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Prime numbers, or we can also say prime factors. A prime number is a number with only two factors. Let's look at the factors of 1. 1 is only having one factor, which is 1. 2 have got two factors, which is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 3 have got 1 and 3. 4 have got 1, 2, and 4. 6 have got 1, 2, 3, and 6. 12 have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So the factors of 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I don't have enough space here, so factors of 12, we have them listed there. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6. A prime number, in this case we say a prime factor, is any factor which is listed down here, which is only having two factors. 1 has got only one factor, so 1 is not a prime factor. 2 have two factors, which is 1 and 2. So in this case, 2 is a prime factor of 12. 3 has got two factors, so 3 is a prime factor of 12. 4 is having three factors. Therefore, three factors, meaning 4 cannot be a prime number. 6 is having more than two factors, is not a prime number. And 12 is the same, it cannot be a prime number or a prime factor. To answer these, say the prime factors of 12 are 2 and 3. The prime factors of 12 are 2 and 3. Why? Because they are only having two factors. A prime factor is a number with two factors, or a prime number is a number with two factors. Composite number are those numbers with more than two factors. 6 is a composite number. 12 is a composite number. Other composite number we can talk about 6, we have 8, we have 9, we have 10, and so on, because 6 is having all these factors. 8 is having factor 1, 2, 4, and 8. 9 is having 1, 3 and 9, and 10 is having 1, 2, 5, and 10. So composite numbers are opposite of prime numbers. The prime numbers have got 2 factors. The composite number have got more than 2 factors. The last one is to write a number as a product of its prime factors. In our booklet, we are given 56 as we must write 56 as a product of its prime factor. We have 2 methods. One method is called a factor 3, which you need to understand it in this way. Our starting point is 56, and then you have to halve 56. Why do we have to halve? Prime factors are 2, 3, 5, 7, and it goes. But when it comes to factorizing, we are starting with the lowest possible prime factor, which is 2. When you divide by 2, you are halving. Just an example, 10 divided by 2 gives you 5. So it's the same as I say half of 10 is 5. So in this case, we need to halve it. If you halve 56, you get 28. It means if I have to multiply 2 times 28, it must give me 56. Going down with 28, 28 is an even number, and even numbers are divisible by 2. So still, I'm remaining at 2, halving. So if I have to halve 28, I will have 14. But what number must I multiply with 14 to get 28? Remember, we halved, so we have to multiply. 2 times 14 gives me 28. You still have to continue, but halving again. If I have to halve 14, I'll have a 7. But what number can I multiply with 7 to get 14? That number will be 2 times 7 gives me 14. I have to continue somewhere here due to space. That is a 7. I still have to continue. I cannot halve 7, because if I halve 7, I'll have a remainder. So in this case, I have to use a prime factor on this list that would divide into 7 to give me a whole number. 2 cannot, 3 cannot, 5 cannot, 7 can. So if I have to divide with 7, 7 goes into 7 one time. And if I multiply 7 times 1, I'll get 7. So this is just the same as that. I just wrote it because you need to see how you have to go down. So this is a method which is called a factor 3. Another method is the ladder method, whereby we have 56. Here, we must halve 56, or we must divide 56 by 2. 56 divided by 2, of course I get 28. Divided by 2, I'll get a 14. Divided by 2, I'll get a 7. And as I said, we cannot divide 7 by 2. We must find the next prime factor that can divide into 7, which of course will be 7, and then you get your 1. This is your working. This is your work you have done to prove how you get to the answer. But you did not give the answer to write 56 as a product of its prime factor. To answer this question, you must write it this way. Just erase this. You must write it in this way. Write 56 as a product of its prime factors. You write 56 as a product. A product is an answer for multiplication. In that manner, you write 56 equal, you take the first 2 times the second one, 2 times the third one, 2 times 7. I've used what is on that side. So if you multiply 2 times 2 times 2 times 7, you get 56. Writing in this way, or you can write it 2 times 2 times 2 times 7 gives 56. They are both correct. The only arrangement I changed is 56 to be on the other side and here to start, so it's still the same. I would like to give a first example of 12 that will not take long, just to make things much understandable. We have 12. We must write 12 as a product of its prime factors. Remember, our lowest prime number is 2, so we can halve it with 2, we get a 6. 6, we can halve it with 2, you get a 3. In the next number, here at 2, 3, 5, 7, 2 cannot go into 3. 3, of course, can go into 3, so 3 goes into 3 one time. Now to make it, to answer the question, to write 12 as a product of its prime factor, we write it 12 equal 2, which is this, times 2, that times 3. So this came from here, there. In that way, you have answered the question, or you can write it 2 times 2 times 3 gives you 12. Still the same. And that is how you write a number as a product of its prime factors. Factors is a number that goes into a number without leaving out a remainder. A prime number, a prime factor, you've got 2 factors, one in itself. Composite number, a number with more than 2 factors. Writing as a product of its prime factor, you do it this way, you do it this way, but you need to show your work on how you get to give the answer. So with that, I believe we can understand and do our activity much better. So let us now go back to our booklet and do the activity on the next page. Let us now go to page 16 to do the activity. I'll read through the activity and give you guidelines on how to do the activity. Number 1, you need to list all the factors of the numbers for number 10A, B 13, C 21 until F. Then we move to question 2. The following, from the list below, identify the prime numbers. So there are numbers listed there from 1 until 25. You only need to choose which numbers are prime numbers, and then you write them on that the space provided. You do the same with B and also with C. 3, you need to list all prime numbers between 71 and 90. B between 91 and 100. Number 4, A. Question is asking, is 21 a prime number? You only need to say yes or no. B, you need to give a reason why do you say yes or why do you say no. Moving to page 17. Number 5, use any method to write the following as a product of their prime factors. You can use the ladder method or factor 3 method, but remember to give the answer. So you write the number as a product of its prime factors. A, you have to look for 18, 27, 30, and D, 84. It's also a challenge here, which is number 6, for you to try this. Can you have 3 consecutive numbers that are prime numbers? Just a question, yes or no. And there is also space for reasoning why. And then number 7, can a product of 2 prime numbers be prime? You can say yes or no and also give the reason why. With that, I wish you all the best to do this activity and give the correct answers. You can watch the video over and over if you do not understand. And please try your level best to do the activity and give the correct answer. To end this, let us remember to sanitize always and make sure you put on your mask, social distance, and from us, it's a bye-bye.
Hi everyone! You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time,